they did this because they wanted to have more participation of the investors in terms of share count while maintaining the equity percentage.
Yeah. So what does it mean to the layman?
It doesn't make sense also. Right? You have more share count, but your equity percentage is the same. It's still the same. Right?
Yes.
More pieces of the cake, but still put together, still one cake. So it doesn't make sense. I mean, what makes me really frustrated about the Malaysian market is that they have so many of these kind of corporate actions.
Yes.
It's like, does it really bring value?
Correct.
You know, if they say that they need to raise capital, why don't they just do a simple like capital raise instead of like rights issues and they call it bonus, but it's just a split.
Yeah.
I mean, make it a split lah.
Yeah.
Why must it say all these like bonus? Like, is it psychology? Is it like saying, in the Asian way, say, hey, you got bonus, you get more, right? But it's just the same.
Yeah.
Before we begin the podcast, have you gotten your free ebook? It's called the Build a Six-Figure Portfolio Guidebook. Now, inside it, we share with you the tips and tricks to bring your stock investing skills to the next level. The best part, it's only 10 pages long and it's totally free. Whether you're on Spotify or YouTube, the link to download is in the description, or you can go to www.firl.co/FREE or www.firl.co/free. Hello everyone, welcome back to the FIRL podcast. By the time you're listening to this will be, I believe, either the first or the second.
Or even the third week of 2022.
Third week of 2022. So Happy New Year to you. And today's guest is a friend, a student of ours, and probably one of the earliest investors in Tesla that you probably know. Of course, that story will be left for him to tell. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Kelvin Liew.
Thank you, MJ and John, for inviting. I'm very honored that you chose me to be on your podcast. Your introduction was quite apt. I'm a student of your SIB the class, and maybe I'm not the earliest Tesla investor. Maybe the earliest that you know, but I do know Malaysian. There are a few Malaysian investors who are really much earlier than I am.
Yeah, but I think the manner in which you came across Tesla actually really interests us.
We'll talk about it for sure.
We'll talk about it.
But before that, as always, right, we want to get a sense of who you are when you're a lot younger. We like origin stories, right, to tell people where you came from and all that. And how were you like, when you were a lot younger, before 10 years old? What do you think about money, investing, and things like that?
Okay. I come from maybe an average middle class family. My parents are public servants.
Okay.
So I was very studious.
Okay.
So if you're talking about money-wise, when I was young, there were no formal education or anything regarding finances.
Mm-hmm.
But what I know from my parents that they were very conservative and very conscious about money. As I'm fortunate that there were no times of really tight money, but we were we didn't live lavishly not luxurious just normal everyday life. Then I think in my secondary school times, I started to wanted to be an accountant somehow.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. I didn't know why. I can't recall, but it has been the ambition in my secondary school up to just before university. So maybe it's because of hearing that accountancy requires maths and maybe a bit of analytics or something like that. So I had that goal in mind. So I got into the science stream, and then I started discovering like engineering, physics, chemistry. And after I graduated, I got a scholarship to go to Germany to study engineering.
But before that, fun fact, I remember a conversation that day. We were actually from the same school, right?
Yes.
Seaport in your time,
Yes.
and then Supermata in mine.
Yeah.
Okay, just fun fact out there.
Even primary school, we were the same.
Yeah, primary school is the same also. Yeah, it's
Yes.
crazy.
Very crazy. So, I mean, my parents were, they did not like impart me in any form of investing, but my mom were quite adamant to save up our ampao money. And I have not spent any money from my ampao when I was young.
I see.
And it was all like in a joint account with my mom.
I see.
And if you're talking about investing, what I remembered from my dad is that he always wants me and my brother to don't invest because everything is a scam somehow. Maybe because he lost money in the stock market. I remember in the 98 when I was at Form 3 like that.
I see.
So there was I know there was a financial crisis in Malaysia. And that time I remember my first really contact with stock investment or shares in Malaysia was with my babysitter.
Okay.
So I had a nanny in the afternoons, and she asked me to copy down on the teletext.
Oh, yeah,
Copy down
teletext.
the stock prices,
Yeah.
so that she can look through it, or somehow I don't know do what, maybe just tikam. So that was my really first contact with stocks.
Yeah.
And then after that, in the university, I also didn't really. It was too busy with studies. Then I went to my career. Then only during my working times that I really started to look into compounding the net worth and see what ways to invest.
I see. Let's dial it back again. It was a pretty unique choice because you went to Germany to study, and our prior conversations shared that you went to this place called German Malaysian Institute. When you actually took on this scholarship and this course, what was the first things that you noticed when you got into Germany? What was there a big culture shock for you when you went there?
When I first arrived in Germany, I think the first thing that really shocked me was the temperature.
Okay.
So it was really cold.
Okay.
I reached there in January 11, 2004.
Wow.
Yeah,
Remember
January 11,
the precise
2004.
date. Okay.
Yeah, that was the day I set foot on Germany.
Yeah.
So that was really the first thing was really the coldness.
Okay.
And then the freshness of the air. That was the first thing. And then as time goes on, really what shocked me was the punctuality of the people there. They really respect time.
Okay.
And any other culture-wise, I wouldn't say shocked me that much. I like the way that they, if you can make friends with a German, right, you can be really good friends. But if you are not friends with them, right, they can be really cold.
I see.
Yeah, so that is a bit different like in Asia where sometimes even colleagues can just go out and have lunch, but in Germany, they really divide that personal and professional relationship.
I see.
But if you are friends, right, you are really good friends. You are like family.
I see.
You share a lot of things.
I see. And how do you see normally, in a way, foreigners break that cycle and be friends with Germans? You have to drink? You have to socialize? What were the things that you noticed that you could be friends with the Germans?
Mutual interest. Mutual interest. There's not much like you say drinking or socially social like engagements. It's really mutual interest. I have a very good friend. We started to be really close because at that time I was collecting Lego. And he also had interest in Lego.
I see.
So we started to have that mutual interest. And also coincidentally, I played the card game Magic the Gathering. And also he also played it.
I see.
So we got very close together, and then we spent a lot of time. So then suddenly we get very close. But
I see.
For the rest, like if sometimes we have like work parties, we just with other colleagues just drink, but if there's no mutual interest, right, there's really nothing further lah. We don't move on as closer friends lah.
Understand. No, it was actually a leading question. So when you got to work in Germany and all that, right, after your studies, what was the culture like in regards to money and savings? Was there do they talk about it openly, or do they, it's a very hush thing? What was your take?
Personal finance is definitely a taboo in German conversations. So personal finance and politics, we don't really talk openly.
I see.
Yeah. But if you are really close friends, then of course you can talk a lot about money lah. What I see generally from the Germans is that they are a country of savers. They really save.
I see.
So they don't have that speculative mood or the speculative kind of manner towards money.
Okay.
So they are very conservative. I think that boils down also to the way that they have a very secure social system there. So
Invest
you do
for
not,
them lah, basically, in a way.
basically not invest for them. Basically that you, even if you don't have a job, you are sick, right? You have the basic needs covered.
Understand.
So you do not need to have to be like super rich or to be above everyone else to survive.
I see.
Yeah. So there even the rich there, the ultra wealthy there is like very secretive. It's not like in the US where everyone knows who makes how much money. So it's they are very. I mean, like in the where I live, right? There's a billionaire who is, I think, considered like the top 5 richest in Germany at the time.
Okay.
And nobody knows that he was really, what does he do there? Because he's very down to earth.
I see.
So he drives like a normal car and everything. The only news that came out, right, was that if you remember, during the Volkswagen short squeeze, he committed suicide at the train tracks.
Oh no.
And that was when we found out that
He's a billionaire.
He's there. I mean, he's still there.
I see.
Yeah. So
He's passed away.
yeah,
he passed on
he
already.
passed on at that time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know, am I correct to say that you started getting interested in investing during your time in Germany?
Yeah. Yes. So after I graduated, I started my first paycheck, first official job. I actually invested my first paycheck already.
Nice.
So I started. But at that time I was quite ignorant about investing. So from what I just know is that, okay, you can buy shares and then you hope that the price goes up at that time. And
Were you already interested or reading about investing
no, at that time, no. I'm just interested in like saving, a way of saving. I'm just thinking that it should be a way of saving.
I see.
Just to help increase the returns because Euro has like, now it's negative interest rates. At that time was like 0.25% or 0.5%. So definitely I cannot grow my money.
I see.
Yeah. So I went to my bank, and at that time I was like really naive. So I just said, I want to invest in the stock market or funds. How do I do this in Germany?
Wow.
So the banker said, okay, you open a brokerage account so you can buy our funds, you can buy the stock market from here lah. And then so I said, okay, I'll try it. I put 20,000 euros. And that was my savings from my work during my student times.
I see.
And also my first paycheck lah. So they opened it up for me. And the banker introduced a couple of funds. They say, okay, you can put in a few funds first. And I say, what about if I want to, because at that time I don't know. So I say, what about if like I want to just save in like a normal savings or a fixed deposit, right? He said that the rates were very low. And he asked me, what about your country? So I said, in Malaysia was like 4% at the time, 4-5%. Oh, then it's better you save in Malaysia, because if you have people there, right? So I say, okay, but I don't want because it doesn't make sense. You just transfer and then you're going to use in Germany.
I see.
Yeah. So, okay, then he opened up. But after 3 months, I realized that he did not give me the best advice. Because he only introduced his funds.
I see.
The DWS, the Deutsche Bank funds.
I see.
And also he opened an account, the brokerage account, which is a managed one.
Also, he's getting a higher commission.
So every year I have to pay whatever happens, you have to pay, I think 0.1%
I see.
of the assets under management. So then I thought it doesn't make sense lah, because I don't have a lot of money, and then I can do my own research. Right? Then that time I started to really understand what is investment, how to invest in good companies, how to look for companies.
I see.
And then I straight away go to the bank and say, please close this down.
Okay.
Do you have any other choices? Then he said, then only he introduced, yes, we have a discount brokerage under our bank. It's a different name, but it's a subsidiary.
Okay.
Then I went there. And the prices are really big difference. With them, to the minimum commission is like 29 euros to make a trade. But when I go to discount, right, it's like 890 euros per trade. So it's very big difference. So for me, it was quite a big difference, right? But then he also said, yeah, but you won't be getting any advice from me. And I said, I'm not getting any advice from you anyway, right? What advice? So then I said, okay, never mind, you cancel it. Then I just go to it. Then now I'm still holding the same brokerage.
Okay.
And I hold most of my assets there. Actually,
Is it just for my curiosity's sake, is it difficult? You had a work permit and everything in Germany,
Yes.
right? Is it difficult to open a brokerage account if you are like on a normal, I wouldn't say even a normal visa, as a tourist or foreigner in Germany?
I think you are not allowed to hold a bank account that easily.
I see.
Not that easy. I'm not sure about nowadays.
Okay.
But at that time, even to open our first like student account, we need to show that we are living there. We have like a residency legality there.
I see.
So you cannot just go like as a tourist to open.
Okay.
That's as far as I know from the Deutsche Bank side. But if you are talking maybe about some international banks like HSBC, or I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, great. So thanks for highlighting that story. I mean, it's pretty similar to I guess Malaysia or anywhere else, right? Where if you go to a bank, this is what. So when you started investing into stocks, and you said that you were reading up after you opened this account, were the resources at that point of time when you invested, were they plentiful? Were they diverse enough? And did they give you the information that you need actually?
Definitely, if you compare to today, at that time it was really.
You're talking about 1990? No,
I'm talking about
early,
2008.
I see.
2008, 2009. But that was after the great financial crisis. So there were like also hot topics like the crash is happening, or how will it recover, all those topics. So at that time, I think I did not join any forums or did not join like any classes. I just started to just read just all the normal things that we have learned before, like the from Benjamin Graham, from the Rich Dad Poor Dad, all those things.
Okay.
I just absorb whatever I can, and then I did not have a really like a thought out plan on how to like identify companies.
I see.
So at that time I was more like okay, I eat McDonald's, so I think McDonald's is growing, right? I just look just rough idea. Oh, okay, they are opening restaurants, and then people are still eating McDonald's. So
Okay.
then I invest in McDonald's, and then things like that. Just very big picture not really drilling down into the finances. At the time, I don't have any. I also don't have any like formal financial education.
I see.
It's just like feeling only.
So what was your first investment? Was it McDonald's or something else?
I can't remember, but if you are talking about the fund that the guy introduced, right? It's the Aktienstrategie Deutschland.
Okay.
So it's a very aggressive growth Germany growth fund. It's actually doing quite well.
Okay.
I still hold it.
Okay.
So it's actually okay lah. He did give a good advice lah. I mean,
Okay.
he didn't
Eventually.
but the fees are very high, and
I understand.
but it's beating benchmarks.
Do you remember the fees? What were the fees like? Just to do comparison to what we have in Malaysia.
Okay, there's a front load of 5%.
Okay, standard.
Okay, standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because I am the Deutsche Bank customer, right? So
Okay.
they give me 2.5%.
I see.
Okay.
And then I think the yearly fees was like I think the total expense was like, if I'm not mistaken, a high of like 2% lah.
Wow.
High
Okay.
of 2%.
Okay.
Average, I think about 1.6, like lah, 1 point something.
Okay,
It's
so-
on the high side lah.
So it's actually quite similar to what we have in
More or
Malaysia.
less lah.
Yeah.
Actually, more or less.
Yeah.
So, but what about your first stock?
My first stock I actually can't remember, but I think it's Royal Dutch Shell. I think. Yeah, I think
How
so.
come? Okay,
Yeah.
regardless whether it's the first, what made
Why?
you choose
Why?
RDS?
I actually don't know. I
You
actually
don't remember?
know. I don't remember. I think because of the dividends.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah, at
they're
that
still
time.
famous for dividends. I don't
Yeah.
know whether they still are, but they were very famous for
Yeah,
dividends.
I think it's because of dividends. And also at that time, I was looking at euro-denominated stocks, I think.
I see.
So at that time, they had the euro-denominated, so I didn't really look into US yet. So I was looking at local first. I was looking at like BASF,
All those on the DAX.
SAP, yes.
So
Okay.
then when do you move on to the US?
I think not long after that. Not long after that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
prompted you? Just pure curiosity or?
I think pure curiosity. Like looking at, you see, after the crash, and then you're looking at the valuations, or I mean, not really valuation. I'm just looking at what things do people still buy? You know, what can still grow. So I think at that time I started to look into like McDonald's, like what else? I got Philip Morris as well.
Oh,
The
but you're not a
cigarettes.
smoker, right?
No,
Okay.
but that one also I cut off already. But at that time, you know, I feel like these kind of things people would still be buying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then only I started to go to like those really tech stocks when I started, I think, in the third or fourth year.
I see.
Then I started to like discover, as I was in Nokia, I started to discover like Apple is growing, Microsoft, you know, all those stocks.
Yeah, I think for some context we missed out. So, Kelvin's background is actually engineering, and take us through a bit of your career history, and then probably we tease out the stock ideas from there, because I think that's where. To the guests, we had an interesting conversation over lunch in the previous that one, and then we were like holding ourselves back from asking more because we wanted to bring all these stories to the pod. So maybe your first job after you were based in which part of Germany again?
Okay, so I studied and lived in Ulm, Germany, ULM. It's a bit hard to pronounce, but yeah. So I studied in the University of Applied Sciences there for 4.5 years.
Okay.
And at that time, we need to do industrial training during our studies. So I had like a total of 2 semesters, or total of about 1 year of internship in Nokia, which is actually also just can say a few streets away only. So it's very convenient.
Nokia is Finnish, and why did they base themselves in Ulm?
That is like a R&D center. Yeah, there's an R&D center in Ulm. There is a factory in Bochum in Germany. And the R&D is in Ulm. I think they opened there because I think they had like incentives a few years back.
I see.
To have R&D centers there. Daimler Technology Center is also there. I think BMW IT is also still there.
I see.
So they have incentives. It's a science park. They call it a science park.
I see.
Takata is there. Was there. Thing closed down already. So I was lucky to secure the internship for my industrial training, and then I also worked part-time during the studies. So I work about like 16 hours per week.
That's the maximum cap for a student.
That's allowable while you are studying. But for internship, you can do 8 hours per day. For internship, I mean, because there's no studies during the internship.
I see.
The industrial training, sorry. Yeah. So, and then I got used to the culture. I like that. And then when I graduated, it was like just after the financial crisis of 2008, end of 2008. So I was lucky to secure a job. Nokia was not affected also at that time. They were still growing. So I was lucky to join that. So that was my first part of my career. And then in 2012, they closed down. Because of the challenges in the mobile phone from Apple and the dominance of the Chinese companies. And then I was lucky also that Continental came to look for engineers. Continental, the rubber tire company in Malaysia, but they do have business in the car. I mean,
maybe context for the audience.
components.
What does Continental do in the business? This business that you joined them. What do they do actually?
So Continental has about like half of it is in the tire business. And the other half is like a Bosch. So they provide components, they provide sensors to the car companies. And for us, the company, the business unit that sort of acquired the mechanical engineers in Nokia was they are doing the ADAS sensors, the advanced drivers assistance systems. So they're mainly in the infrared cameras, LiDAR and ultrasonic sensors. You know, all those sensors that allow you to sense the car around that. So they actually Continental actually just acquired the startup. It's actually a startup company.
I see.
They acquired it, so they need to aggressively recruit people because they're starting to get like orders. So they took a lot of the Nokia engineers, and they actually leased half of the Nokia building. So after they closed down, so then I was lucky to move there, and a big part of our mechanical team also just moved to Continental.
To Continental. Okay. So when you were at Nokia, what was the role you were doing? What was your day-to-day work actually?
Yeah, I started and ended there also as a mechanical simulations engineer.
Okay. What does a mechanical simulations engineer do?
Yeah. For Nokia, what I did was I was mainly responsible for the reliability of the product in the mechanical aspect. So any mechanical stresses that the product will undergo, especially before the prototyping, before the physical prototype, I will have to verify. I will have to approve the designs.
I see.
So, for example, a very big part is the drop test simulations
So
of
you take
a phone.
and then you just like literally just...
Yes. So in Nokia, we had a requirement that all phones at a 1 meter drop has to survive. So we have different tests. We have like the directed test. That means there's like the corners.
Okay.
So corners like edges drop like this. So all this has to be done by the test, and also there's a tumble test. So they have a thing that just turn around and tumble.
Okay.
So all this has to be done in the simulations first to verify the design before we do the physical prototype. So that was my main job.
I see.
Day to day.
I
So
see.
anytime the designers have a rough design already, then I will work a bit multidisciplinary. I will work with the antenna, the PCB team, and the mechanical team. They provide me with the model, so I clean it up a bit. I put my my loads, my constraints on it,
Okay.
and then I run the simulations.
I see.
And then I will generate the reports, and then I will see what is the weakness, what suggestions they need to do
To strengthen the phone,
to strengthen it, to reduce the impact.
Sorry to interrupt this podcast. I know it's a little bit annoying, but I want to tell you something that I think can be really helpful to you. I can tell you're really interested in the stock market and want to learn more about it so that you actually know what you're doing, especially when today things are getting more complex and complicated. That's why we came up with the Stock Investing Blueprint, or SIB. It's our signature e-learning program that teaches you how to pick the right stocks most of the time, buy and sell it at the best possible time, and manage your stock portfolio systematically. It currently has more than 10 hours of content and it's growing. You'll also be part of a group of like-minded investors that can help speed up your learning process. To hop on the program, click on the link in the description or go to learn.firl.co/courses/SIB.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about your time at Nokia is that you joined right when the iPhone was launched, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, whenever people talk about the success story of the iPhone, they will compare it with the failure of Nokia.
Correct.
And so you were right there actually dealing with the people on the ground. What was it like as someone working at Nokia, looking at this new thing coming up called an iPhone, where there was no keypad and, it was just all touchscreen and there was only one button. What was it like seeing that coming?
To be honest, when I started, nobody saw it coming. Actually, nobody saw it coming.
Even everyone in Nokia.
Yeah. Everyone was just thinking that this will be like an expensive phone,
Okay.
expensive device that the masses will not be able to afford. They thought that it will be like a Ferrari.
Okay.
Okay, it's something like, it's because what they draw parallels is that not everyone is using a Mac at that time, right? It was an expensive product. It's very niche. So that was what I think the everyone was thinking lah. Even in Nokia, I think. And I think the rude awakening really came a couple of years later lah, about 2010, 2011. That everyone is accepting this. It has become an aspirance, like a aspiration of the people. Even though it's so expensive, but people want to own it. Wants to, like a Ferrari. Everyone wants one. Most of the people wants one, right?
Yeah.
Although they know that they cannot afford one.
I see.
So they can go through different challenges just to say, hey, I want to own one. So they didn't see that lah.
I see. And you were sharing an interesting project that actually Nokia came up, your team actually came up with something of a cheaper version.
Juicy, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you can share with us a little bit about that.
So around, I think 2010, 2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken, as the iPhone dominance became more apparent, right?
Okay.
Our team, we feel pressured because the top, Nokia has like 3 tiers of products generally. Okay. So there's the smartphone division, which is the really high-end, top-end. That's mostly done by the Finnish people.
Okay.
In Germany, we have the mid-end.
Okay.
So it's done by mostly Germany R&D and also Beijing, Shanghai.
Okay.
So we have also there.
Yeah.
Then the low tier will be mostly in Bangalore, in India, and also in China in certain areas as well.
I see.
So we are in the mid tier. So the confusion was that the high tier, they thought that Apple will only fight with the high tier. So the high tier was like, should we do this? Should we do that? Should we do like keypad? Should we not? So they were like
debating.
So what the mid tier did was, actually it is a very like grassroots initiative in is that we thought, what if we put the experience of the high tier into the mid tier? So around the 300, 400, 500 euro range.
Yeah, and that time was exchange rate was about 4, 5?
Yes.
So 2,000 ringgit.
Yes, that means the smartphones now you have, most smartphones now also 300-400 euros, right? Or 1,000, maybe some, now even less than 1,000 you can get Chinese smartphones, right?
Yeah.
So at that time, yes. So we started to brainstorm, we started to see what can we put into the low end tier. And then actually we found out that we can actually have a relatively nice experience of the high tier into the mid tier at a relatively attractive price. So they went for the Memo platform.
Okay.
It's an open source platform, but then we heavily customize it to fit it onto the mid tier.
I see.
Yeah, so it can run smoothly on the mid tier with some hacks with some ways of making it. So of course they won't have like super high resolution cameras. They won't have high performance games or what. But the UI, the first experience of a smartphone will be in the mid tier.
So this was the days when Nokia still was very strongly into Symbian and all that kind of thing, right? And this was, I can't remember, refresh my memory. When did Android really take acceptance? Much later, right?
I think around that time also, 2011, 2010.
And you guys went with Memo.
Yes.
Was it easy to program? Was it the API adoption, was it easy at that point?
I don't have really insights there because I'm not in the software, but from what I've heard that they went for Memo and or I think it's called Memo is the open source one, yeah.
Okay.
So they modify it. I think what they did was that because I think they chose Memo because Nokia was like in their consortium. So instead of going Android, because Android was like Google, so they wanted to, because it was like a fork of Symbian or something. I see. So they just like naturally, we try Memo, and actually surprisingly the results were quite good.
I see.
There was some high-end, high tier which actually used Migo Memo. I think the N900. I think that was one of the first ones. Although the design is a bit bulky and it's like more like an engineering prototype but it's sold. Very small volumes, and it's actually quite accepted. So then they thought, what if we fork it and then we do a small for the lower processors. Then actually we did it, but unfortunately it was cut.
What was there a reasoning given by Nokia? Just no one wanted to support it, is it?
I think I'm actually not so sure also, but it was very abrupt because we actually managed to show something that it's possible, but it was quite early phase lah. It's not like, it's like a proof of concept lah.
Understand.
And then suddenly just came the news that there's no, we're not going to do that anymore.
Gosh.
But a lot of money was actually invested there because we actually hired quite aggressively late 2011, early 2012.
For this division.
For this one, yeah.
So in some sense, the team within Nokia did see it coming and they were already preparing to combat this. What do you think it had a bad ending that it have?
Well, I don't really understand what do you mean.
No, as in, that like your team and all that, you saw what Apple was doing and you all were trying to create things to compete, right, essentially. But what do you think that never materialized in the end? As a whole, not just what you were trying to do, as a whole, Nokia, what did they lose out?
I think it's the lack of that direction from the top. Because a lot of the engineers or a lot of the grassroots, we are actually quite innovative. We are actually very, not to toot our own horn, but there are really a lot of smart people in Nokia. So the thing is that there's a lack of vision or direction. So sometimes you feel very demotivated because like you are doing something, you think that, okay, this might be useful for the product.
Yeah.
But then when you show it, right, it's like, okay, we'll think about it. And then there's no feedback, no. Should we put in the roadmap? Should we do something? There was lack of this kind of coordination.
I see.
And just to prove that point, right, I actually know a guy who in Nokia, he can design antennas for the phone, right, without using the software. So he has he can design antenna. He can say, okay, this is not bad. Then he go and test, and then most likely can work.
Based on memory.
Yes, based on experience, memories. And now he's working for Tesla. So there are smart people. There are really a lot of smart people.
I think to sum it up, what you're saying is that a lot of these grassroots initiatives was not molded into some sort of a roadmap plan, and leadership didn't actually take that kind of initiative to roll it out.
Yes, maybe it's because there's lack of coordination. Sometimes we do innovation rounds, innovation weeks, stuff like that. We do a lot of things, but we lack that feedback, like saying, okay, we will put this into the roadmap and then let's move forward, or this one is not good, don't do it, things like that. But there's so we don't know what to continue.
Understand.
So as an engineer, right, if you don't have that feedback, right, you will just do the day-to-day.
Understand.
You just follow what is
I think
being
that's
planned.
good insights. That's good insights because not being tapped.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's move on to Continental. So in Continental, what was your role? What do you do actually there?
It's actually the same.
Okay.
Most of it the same. But of course, slightly different is that it's an automotive product.
Okay.
So the product is basically almost the same size of a phone. So we have the sensors all around this side, around like a palm-size devices. So there are the radars, cameras, and everything. So of course, the challenges now is not like drop tests. The challenges now is like thermal reliability and water tightness. Maybe like
so you've got
the warping, vibration, yes, reliability, all those things now.
Okay.
So it's roughly the same because it's still a piece of PCB inside with cameras, and then still two covers or metal coverings on it. So it's a very natural transition to the new thing, but the processes are different.
I think also, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, based on my understanding, automotive electronics, the tolerance or the requirements are actually much, much higher than consumer products, right?
Yes.
Would you say by a factor of 2 or a factor of 3 inside?
I would say it's hard to put it in numbers.
Okay.
But I would say they are more stringent.
Okay.
They are more stringent because of regulations. There are laws to it. So for a consumer product like a phone, right, there are no really laws to it. It's just like, we feel that we want to be this reliable, we do it.
I see.
Yeah, but for automotive, it's different. So the regulations is fixed already.
Okay.
So you have to exceed that.
I see.
And also you have the very big burden of documentation. So that one is a bit also I have to get used to that.
Understand. Also, maybe for the context of the audience, so when you talk about PCBs or the components that go inside car parts, right? will you be able to share with us? I know it doesn't need to be precise, but in terms of costing, will it be probably 2 times, 3 times more expensive than the normal PCB you use for a consumer?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So what's the cost difference in a way?
I think it's relatively the same.
Oh, relatively the
it's
same.
actually relatively the same because even in the consumer products, the quality threshold is very high. Yeah, reliability is still very important. So there's no like saying that, oh, lousier chips we use for consumer products, higher chips we use for automotive.
I see.
I think it's a myth. There's no such thing. Even you say some military grade chips, right? It's actually still the same chips. It's just that we can sell it more expensive to you, we sell to you. But it's actually from the same production.
I see. But I would guess probably the cost increase will also come from more paperwork.
More work, yes.
Testing.
Yes.
Testing.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, probably from there.
Yes.
But cost of manufacturing itself, it would be roughly the same in a way.
Materials like manufacturing, I think it's roughly the same. I think more of the work is like the hours needed to bring that to market is longer.
I see. So what made Continental, I mean, they're tier 1 automotive supplier till today, right? What made it so, what's so great about Continental? Is it because of the breadth of the services they have, or is it because of the technical expertise? What's the unique selling proposition for Continental?
The thing is, in Continental, we are working very much in silos, so I cannot really talk about the whole business. It's a bit different when in Nokia, where we have like we have an all hands meeting. We can really know what is happening to the company.
I see.
So Continental is unfortunately like very, very traditional. So we don't really know what is happening with the other business units.
Okay.
So I can't really say what is the uniqueness of Continental as a whole.
Okay.
But if you're talking about my business unit where we are in the sensors, right? I think the uniqueness is that that Continental at that time was very competitive in the like, I would say price.
Price.
I would say price.
Okay.
Bosch has a larger share. Denso also has quite a good share.
Yeah, Denso is quite big also.
Delphi as well. But I think Continental at that time, because they actually acquired us as a startup, so at that time we were like trying to get volume. So I think that time was the pricing. Actually, Continental was actually catching up at that time. It's not the leader on the sensors, on the other sensors.
I see. So maybe now would be
Now will be better, I think.
Yeah. I want to segue into the part where you interact with customers, and are all customers the same, and probably lead towards to your first chance encounter with Tesla, and why are they different from customers?
Yeah. So I do not have the job of acquiring customers. So I cannot say all the customers. So what I have worked, whom I have worked before is Toyota, BMW, Mazda, to a small extent.
Okay. Mercedes? No.
Mercedes? No, I think Mercedes was my colleague because there was a very big volume. So
I see.
We split it up a bit. But I have anecdotes, but mainly it's very, very process driven. Very process driven.
So you write a spec. Take us through the process. You write a spec, or they give you the spec and then you...
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like that. For the luxurious brands like Mercedes and Daimler, so they have like a vision. So they know that, okay, we need to have like these certain features in our coming 7 years, 10-year roadmap.
Okay.
So they will have like road shows. They will have supplier meetings, saying that, okay, we want to do this. Okay, we have done our concepts. We know that we can do this. So how can you provide us with these kind of services or components or what? So then the suppliers will then like show their technology.
Okay.
So then most of the suppliers already actually have a picture also their vision, right? So we already have our product palette, our catalog and everything.
Okay.
So we will then move to getting this kind of money, this kind of volumes first, this kind of orders.
Okay.
To showcase our technology.
Okay.
So then the requirements definitely will come both ways, what we can do and what they want. So we try to get a middle ground, something like this.
Okay.
So then the development mostly will be done internal already. More of that it's done actually integration
I see.
with the OEMs.
Okay.
So let's say Mercedes say, okay, we think that our next generation will need like a radar that can see 500 meters.
Okay.
So we have one. Okay, let's say Continental say, yes, we have one. We have now it's like 450 meters.
Okay.
That's the physical limit that we can do, let's say. Right? So okay, I think we can work around with that. Then we just integrate lah, say how we can put it into their current their car.
Okay, the
how it can
chassis
use.
size, whether it fits.
Yes, whether it fits. And all the connectors, all those things. And that's mainly what is being done on the day-to-day.
I see.
Yeah, and then once the first samples are ready, everything done, all the check marks are done, that takes like 2 years.
Wow.
So it's not something that you do in overnight.
Wow.
So that's why car companies, they plan ahead 10 years. They plan 10 years. Product cycle is 7 years.
I see.
So it's very slow. It's very slow. So I think what I did when I left, right, I think just only now came into market.
So you kind of roughly know if you were to buy the next car, you'll be in a good position to say, okay, this is the time to upgrade because this is the biggest change that you see.
Yes. So it's actually very driven first by those top tier and then those and also like Audi also will have the thing, right, and then after that they will go towards like more cost driven, more volume driven. Then it will come like Volkswagen, Toyota, Mercedes to a certain extent.
Okay, Honda,
Subarus, all those will come in.
Okay.
Then those more or less they will prefer off the shelf.
What is already done by the more
top tier one.
top tiers?
The luxurious one, yeah.
What is the cost that I can manufacture at scale?
Yeah. That one they really drill down into like, if you need 3 screws, you take 2 screws, don't take 3 screws. Right. So you really save
It matters
every penny.
because there's like hundreds of thousands of cars, right?
Yes. So the volumes are different now. Like 7 Series BMW will do like a few thousand per year.
Yeah.
So we can get our product mature with them, and then after that goes down to the production maturity, where like Toyota, they have like 6 Sigma or 7 Sigma kind of reliability, right? You have like 1 billion parts only can fail one. So then that time will be the high volumes because Toyota, once they take, is like 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, right? Instead of thousands, right?
I see.
Volkswagen as well, 1-2 million.
So in a way, okay, if I right to say this, if you want to be guinea pig, you buy the 7 Series. Because that's where a lot of the failure, whatever happened, by the time it trickles down to the Toyota, it's already in a way super reliable.
Yeah, in a way super reliable. But of course, I'm not saying that the 7 Series and S-Class is not reliable. It's just that the volumes are lower and the yield is lower. So of course, the prices are higher, but the technology works.
Of course.
The technology has to work. Yeah.
Great. So you have these guys who come up with a very standard SOP in a way.
Yes.
So you've got your BMWs and your... Then your chance remnants with Tesla. Why do you felt, share with us that story again, actually.
So the contrast is very stark. I work with Toyota actually on a longer basis because of their volumes, right? So when I talk with Toyota engineers, when you have meetings, right, it's actually very rigid. It's like, okay, let's say they say, okay, you want to change this screw because of cost efficiency, right? Okay, so let's change this screw. So I will give like a recommendation. Okay, yes, we can change this, but
the strength,
pros and cons, whatever, or maybe like volumes or whatever. Then the engineers will say, okay, let me talk to my boss, and the boss is usually not an engineer, and they'll say, okay, wait. Then you will wait like 2 weeks.
Okay,
and they will come back and say, okay, let's make a meeting. Not say yes or no. Let's make a meeting.
Okay,
because I've already given all the information.
Okay,
let's make a meeting. Okay, meeting. Then when we meet, sometimes they want to meet face to face. So we have to go to Japan. Or they will come here.
Okay.
Right?
For a screw.
So it's very waste time. And the funny thing is Continental does not allow webcams, We do everything by phone.
Huh?
Yeah, at that time.
Oh, you're
So
talking
it's
about
also
2010?
2014.
Oh.
We have our own voice over IP, but we can be our laptops all no camera, cannot bring camera.
Okay.
What?
So it's very hard to sometimes talk to Japanese because sometimes
they're not native English speakers.
Yes, they're not native English speakers. So it's very hard to understand. So they prefer face to face. And you have to wait for them to book, to come. And then after that, when you come, in the meeting side, it's not productive also because we are doing the same thing again. I'm showing the same information.
You're repeating yourself.
Yeah, I'm repeating the same thing. And then the engineers cannot do a decision there. Then he will turn to his manager and talk in Japanese. And then, okay, then we move forward. So that is the very stark contrast. Okay. But of course, with BMW and everything, it's also almost the same. But of course, they are nearer in proximity.
Yeah, so
right?
it's easier.
It's easier and same language. So it's a bit faster. Okay, but it's almost the same lah.
Okay.
You have the levels of approvals and everything. So one time the chance encounter is that one of the account managers, he came to me and then he said there's a new customer, new car company. They want to try to check if they can their new car in a bigger volumes. They want to use our advanced radar.
Okay.
But they are not a big customer lah. So the account manager just tell me, okay, what can we provide from what we have off the shelf?
Yeah.
With a certain requirement, a very like 1 or 2 pages lah that they want to have. So I look through it lor. Then I say, hey, it's actually nothing much to change, just a few things, connectors and everything. So I did like a rough proposal only lah. I just say, okay, we can do this lah. Roughly, what do you think? So the account manager said, you talk to them lah. Because like middle management, they also don't know what they are doing. You talk to them. Okay. So I talked to them, hey, Tesla. So I don't know about Tesla much that time.
Prior to that, you never heard of Tesla lah?
I only saw a Model S lah. I know lah.
In Germany lah?
In Germany. I know they are a car company lah. But I didn't know what they doing at that time.
I see.
So okay, then I emailed them and say, I just like saying, okay, we can do this. And then very far, I think it was like less than half a day. They came back, yes, let's do this. And then I said, but we have to change something. They said, we need some time to get approval. I said, if you cannot change, I'll change for you.
Wow.
I'll give you the like our design. You change it, and then you just go through, see, can you produce for us?
Wow.
So they are very proactive, They do not like wait, supplier, you do everything you do. So they know that what they want, and they have the expertise. They are willing to try. So although their volumes are very small, I think that time they were asking like less than 10,000. And it's also like just the first run. They are even not sure that they will use us.
I see.
But it's just that they want to, see which suppliers can provide for them. And then I think that was like the early phases of Model 3.
I see.
Then only later I found out but that time I don't know also. I
see.
thought they were just like a normal car company testing us out only. So then that time there was like feel different. You see like previously you want to get a answer right from Japan, even with the time difference, you take 2 weeks. But this one is even time difference with US also, but very fast.
Yeah.
So they can really like, okay, let's do this, let's change this. Then when can you give us the samples? When can you do this change in your current production
rapid,
run?
right?
Very fast.
Okay.
The one that is slowing them down is actually us. It's not them, right? Because of course, if we want to produce like even 1,000, so we have to go through a lot of things. Yeah. After that, I hand it over back to the account manager. Then I have no more.
And at that point of time, did it already spark to you that, you were already investing, right? During that time, right?
No, Tesla, no. Tesla, I started in 2018 actually.
During that time, you were already investing.
Yes, already investing. In different industries.
Did that incident not spark you? So you waited only until your encounter with them was
4 years, right?
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, so at that time, I started to like think, hey, like EVs looks promising. But I did not go to Tesla straight away.
I see.
Because at that time, I have driven the Smart EV, the car sharing platform.
Okay.
And I've also driven my colleague's Nissan Leaf.
Oh, Nissan Leaf, yes.
So I was talking to him also, like, how is it to own the EV in Germany? So at that time, our office just only had one of the chargers.
Okay, only one.
Only one. 2014, 2015.
Okay.
Only one. So it's like, actually it's fine, nothing wrong. If Nissan Leaf at that time, his range was like 150 kilometers only. But he said, it's just enough for city driving. Every day I drive, I plug in here. After my work, I got full charge already.
Yeah.
So I feel, okay. Then I drove his car. I have quite good very nippy, like go-kart. Then I drive the Smart EV, so I like it. So I feel, EV actually not bad. And then also around 2014, 15, I was driving on the Autobahn. Then suddenly a Model S also overtook me.
Oh, what car were you driving then, if you don't mind?
BMW.
Okay.
Driving a 3 Series. Yeah.
3 Series, and then the Model S is
Yes, the Zoop. I was already driving at 200 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
So that was also very fast. So I if suddenly that opened my mind, I said, I thought like electric cannot go so fast. Because when I drove the Smart, right, the most it can go 90 kilometers per hour. But how come this one can go? And no sound.
yeah.
So, okay, then I started to look into like EVs lah. And then with the chance encounter, so then I thought, I think Tesla was doing that. So I just read through, study. But I did not invest straight away at the time because that time Tesla was like maybe bankrupt, can go bankrupt anytime.
Yeah. It was a
right?
big risk,
So
yes.
we don't know. And then only I started to like notice, the like Elon Musk, and I started to notice the car industry, how it works.
I see.
How
You were
how
still with
we work.
Continental that time, right?
Yes, until 2015. Then I left it. I left Continental to come back to Malaysia.
I see.
Then only 2018 I start to really put money into it. After going through like thinking back, I think Tesla is getting famous. Tesla is showing people that actually EVs are the way to move forward lah.
Okay. So during this time, your entire journey of investing, were you guided or did you had help in understanding accounts and financial statements and all that, or mainly it was still very big picture kind of investing?
No, I very big picture. At the time, only when I started to back in Malaysia about 2 years ago, I started to really look into the financials.
I see.
Previously, I was just looking like annual reports. I just listening to earnings calls, just listening and saying and looking at how do they plan to grow.
I see.
What are they doing?
Very
are they making money?
qualitative lah.
Very very qualitative. Just looking at trends lah. Like for example the EV trend.
Okay.
So what actually also one of the event that sparked me to look into EV is that in Continental we get newsletters.
Okay.
The industry newsletters. So one of the one that really I think changed my life is that from KPMG, the report was mobility in the future. So they were talking about how in the future people will not own cars because they are looking at the trend where if you ask millennials, right, would you want to own a car? And no, I want to just be mobile. Owning the car is no more a status symbol. So they also looking at like autonomous driving, and that was in 2014, 2013, 2015, that time lah.
Okay.
That time when I got the report,
Newsletter,
yeah. So they were talking, and also renewables will be a trend because mobility needs a lot of energy also, about 30%, I think, transportation carbon emissions, right? So they also say that if they move towards renewables, it will reduce the carbon emissions. So from there, then I started to look into like what companies. I actually invested in BMW and Mercedes first for the EV revolution because BMW had the i3 at the time.
Correct.
Yeah, and then I thought if EVs are to move forward, the best bet will be Mercedes and BMW.
Correct.
Because when we work with technologies, with radar, everything, also they will start first.
I see.
So I actually invested in them. Yeah.
But did you, after investing into Tesla, did you reduce the stakes?
Yeah, I sold everything. Of course.
Great. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what when you came back to Malaysia and you kind of like, how would I say, there you had newsletters. Did you have friends when you were investing in Germany before that?
Actually very lonely. Very lonely. No, nobody, because we don't talk much about personal finance in Germany.
I see.
So it was very low. But my best friend, my very good friend, he's also an Apple user. He likes to use Apple. So we were actually talking. Also, I asked him, why do you like to use Apple? He said, yeah, very nice. And he showed me. At that time, I'm not using iPhone also.
Okay.
So then we discussed. What do you think? Would you like keep buying Apple? I said, yeah. Then I buy some and invested with him also. He also invested a bit.
That was
That was very long time. Yeah, I think 2012 or 2011.
Wow.
I already start. Yeah.
So you bought Apple before
Even
Tesla,
before
Tesla.
the 1-7 split. I
oh
can't
my
remember
gosh.
what year was that, but the 1-7 split, because my friend, he doesn't do any investment one.
Okay.
It's actually I was the one who say, hey, why don't we just buy the shares?
Yeah.
Right? And then he was saying, then after we bought, right? split to 7. What does it mean? I thought, and that
You lost 1-7.
yeah, that
6,
was
7.
that was a time. What I remember is that because he asked me that, he said, split 1 to 7 or how then less money what? And then no then I said, and then the thing is our brokerage right needs 3 days to book the price,
Oh, so that means when you saw that
that's
it's
only like,
1-7, what happened to
He
you?
asked me, he asked me, what like that? What happened like that? Then, don't worry, you wait. Then after that, the
share
shares
came
booked
back in.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
I think it was a great time to buy for Apple because I don't know if you remember in 2012, 2013, right? There was the whole talk of the Chinese smartphones coming in. And so they was immediately comparing, hey, you see, like this Apple's Nokia, right? Apple being Nokia, but turn it around. So I think now, like, I guess, so you got into Tesla 2018, right? What were some of the key triggers for you to get into Tesla? And what's the case for Tesla, you would say?
So the conviction grew over time. When I started, it was early 2018. There was a very small percentage only. I was just very big picture. I was thinking that, okay, since BMW and Daimler is not doing anything, so why don't I try just a bit? I think at the time I bought it was like $280 per share before the split. So after split, it's like $60.
okay.
So just bought 10 only.
Okay.
Very little amount
Just to
of money.
test water lah.
Just to test, yeah. And then, if you remember the funding secured tweet,
Oh,
at
yeah.
August,
The
I sold it
Middle East.
off.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Yes, because I think this is not something that we should believe. I mean, the CEO can just say things then the thing go up and then go down. Not for me yet.
Okay.
And then I started to look into who is Elon Musk. Only at the time I started to think, who is he? Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
How can he move markets, right?
Yeah.
And then in about December, November, after I feel that actually his background is actually quite good.
Yeah.
His Twitter is just bullshit. Don't really follow so much. And then, okay, never mind. A bit back. A bit. Then slowly I grow. Then at that time, I started to the biggest factor that makes my conviction so strong is that the speed of their innovation. It's simply their agility.
I see.
Yeah. The mode is actually the agility. It's not like the battery technology or their EV or what. I think the agility.
The culture
there.
And
which
you
cannot be easily replicated.
And you saw that glimpse in 2014 when you first dealt with them.
Yes, and then I thought back, I said, that it's totally different now, the stark contrast. Actually, there are so many anecdotes nowadays. If you look, it really it gave me even more conviction nowadays because only recently one of the employees, I think he was like a consultant of Tesla. I think he worked in 2020, 2019 or something like that.
Okay.
He just came out and talked about the agility in Tesla.
Yeah.
He's Joe Justice, if you have.
Wow, what a name, man. Joe Justice, okay.
Yeah, he has many anecdotes, and maybe if you can share, I can talk a bit.
Yeah.
So that's what builds my conviction.
Actually, there was also a very public, you remember the semiconductor, there's still going semiconductor shortage, right? Tesla was the first to come out and say, we will reprogram so that we can make sure that the car can go into other chips. I was like, oh my God, even Mercedes, because correct me if I'm wrong, Kelvin, a lot of these traditional automotive companies, they're so rigid in their process. They're not willing to, no, change that screw, cannot, this one cannot, right.
Yes,
yeah.
And that is true.
Yeah.
That's why I totally believe what Tesla has done.
Yeah.
Because to go into the firmware and to change it so that your car can work with a different chip is not an easy process, especially in the other automotive companies.
They're not willing to take that risk also.
Definitely. And the thing is, nobody is empowered to say that I'll take this responsibility, I change it. Even if they have engineers inside.
I see.
Yeah, because sometimes if there are so many obstacles, right, you need to get a budget. You need to get financial analysis. What if we change? What if the production stops? There are so many, and then there's a testing round to go after you change, and all this costs money. So no one is going to take the risk. So if you go to middle management, right, they will look at the numbers, say, hey, but you test this, I need to stop the line, every testing costs like 1 million euros. I'm not going to do this.
I see.
Who's going to do this? So just wait lah. Push the supplier. Hey, faster. That's all they can do. And from the Joe Justice podcast, right? He said Tesla uses machine learning to make testing so cheap that you can do running changes.
This is insights.
You have like a normal Toyota car. You see like facelift, right? That's the only change they do actually.
Everything is the same.
Everything is the same. Everything must be the same up to the final screw. But in Tesla, they do changes every 3 hours. Every 3 hours, they have agility. They use the software agility process into hardware manufacturing.
My gosh.
If you have the time to go through that Joe Justice podcast, right? It really is really eye-opening how fast they can really adapt. And they empower each employee up to the floor sweepers.
Wow.
To every little bit that you do, as long as it's for the mission, do it.
Wow.
Without
approval.
Without approval, yeah. As long as you can show that it is improved. And they are not afraid to fail. That's the thing. They are not afraid to fail. So you can see from Elon Musk's company like SpaceX, how many rockets exploded before they land one?
Yeah.
Boeing is not going to do that.
Yeah.
See, up to now, Boeing has not even flew one because they are afraid.
Yeah.
What if it blows up?
Yeah.
But Elon Musk is not afraid to fail. So, and the thing is that they built their process in such a way that the feedback loop is very fast. So if they do something and go testing, fail, let's do a different way.
Wow.
Instead of waiting 2 years and then see in the customer review, this is not bad, okay, then let's just move on. It's like too slow. So the feedback loop is there, and the way they built the system is such that if you are in the software field, right, the Scrum way of working, right?
Yes.
That's how Elon Musk has built the culture in the company.
Yeah. So for context of the audience, the Scrum way is like rugby, when you get everyone into it. That's the problem. Scrum it out, get it out, and working.
And then this works because of the way that they set it up. So if you go to the podcast again, the Joe Justice said that every employee has you can use your own phone. You'll install like about 20 apps from Tesla.
Oh.
So and it's very open. That means up to the finances of the company, you can see from the app. So you get a feedback, whatever you are doing, the reviews, the service, the deliveries, numbers, everything can be found from the app. So there are metrics everywhere. And then in the factories and in their offices, right, they have big screens to show what is the current problems.
Wow.
So you can have a very fast feedback. Let's say the current problem is that tires are not being screwed on properly, right? So there's a red thing shining. And then whoever feels that, hey, I can contribute. I'm not doing much now. I can contribute. I think I have an idea. So they can go through the app. They can just look at who is looking at this problem
Who's the
now.
PIC now?
Yeah, who is like the owner now. Like that. Then he said, hey, I think I have an idea. So he can either just go straight to the person or email or something. Just go say, hey, I think let's try this. So there is like a very openness, transparent way of hashing out solutions.
I see.
So once they do it, then they have their lines also set up in such a way that they can actually take the in production product, they can take one out, do their changes, put it back in, and then it's all tracked through their system. And then once it goes into the testing. So for this particular change, right, they do a testing. They see if the change will bring any adverse effects. And they have that automated testing. And that is the secret sauce of the Tesla manufacturing, is that they can do a lot of testing automatically at a very low cost instead of like the Daimler and everything. So then you can see the feedback very fast.
I see.
And you say, hey, it works. Okay, push it out. Use it. Doesn't matter. Use it first. And then it goes into the field. And then you see if there are any problems. There's no problem, right? This change will be put into your next one.
It's permanent change.
Go in. Just do it. So it's very fast. That's why some people will say that in our normal product, when we buy cars, right, we say we wait for the next one. We don't buy the now because the latest one will be better. But Tesla is actually, every car is actually can be different.
I see.
The car that you buy now is actually the latest one already.
I see.
Because the changes are invisible to the consumer. We don't know actually. That's why you can see sometimes the same model year, right? You have a different battery, you have a different screw, you have a different back part, you have a different front part. So that's how they do
I love it when, Tesla, there was a time when I think Elon also got brickbats for this. I can't remember which specific model, but they actually unlock the battery range or the features of the car because of a disaster like a hurricane or something.
Yes.
I remember. I don't remember which year, but then a lot of users said, "Oh, you charge me this extra much for a premium of the car, but actually it's just a software hack." Actually.
Yeah. This is
crazy,
nothing.
man.
Actually, this is nothing new. This is nothing new. Actually,
Yeah.
When I owned the BMW, right?
Yeah.
On the display, if you look properly, right, you can see actually there are icons for like advanced driving. You have icons for the radar. You have icons for that. But my car does not have that.
Okay.
So they are using actually the same display. They switch it off only. my car at that time, right? There's no Bluetooth.
Uh-huh.
I didn't pay for the Bluetooth. It's a used car, no Bluetooth. Then I go to the service, say, I need Bluetooth for my phone. Can how to buy? I can install. I say, no need to install. Pay 99 euros, we can activate it. So it's actually the same thing. It's actually being done all the while in the legacy auto. It's just that now Tesla has made it like normal, you know. And there's an anecdote from the Joe Justice as well.
Yeah.
The Model 3 at that time when they launched, it can only charge using 125 kilowatts, I think.
Okay.
So it's like a low power, not a very high powered charging.
Okay.
So one of the engineers was thinking that I think I have a way to solve it by changing the cabling a bit.
Okay.
You can take more charge.
Okay.
Take
Take
more
a high
power.
wattage.
Take more power.
Yeah.
More power to make a fast charging. So they did the change. They put it into the cars first. They did not activate anything first. So up to a certain manufacturing date, right? All the cars is actually already can do high power charging.
Okay.
So then they put it into the market first and see if there's anything with low power, anything problem. No problem, right? Activate it.
Okay.
Then suddenly overnight can go to 150 kilowatts.
Wow.
Like that. So it's the same thing. So they do running changes. They make a lot of changes actually all the while. And it's just that they lock it or what to test and see if there's any problems before they push it out.
Okay.
So that is really unheard of before like the software way of building things.
I see. I want to peel just a little bit deeper on. So Tesla has to rely on a lot of these suppliers.
Yes.
They, and these tier one automotive suppliers are so used to the way that the traditional, sorry for the lack of a vocabulary, traditional automotive suppliers, have they kept up the times, and who are the ones that you see, right, from your experience in the value chain, keeping up with Tesla? Because instead of just investing in Tesla, you can invest in the guys who are keeping up with Tesla as well, right?
I think a lot of suppliers can actually be very fast.
Okay.
Can actually be very fast. It's just of the processes of the OEMs to keep up, to say that, okay, we can accept this new technology.
I see.
So
I see.
sometimes also, I mean, if you are like a boss, right? You don't want to cannibalize your current products with newer technology,
I see.
right? So you trickle it out.
I see.
So you say, hey, wait, let me amortize my current volumes first. Then
Okay.
only I sell the newer, more advanced camera or more advanced tire or
I
whatever.
see.
So I think that is what is blocking a lot of the manufacturers as well.
I see.
And also another thing is that I think Tesla is agile in not only their own manufacturing, but they also can do things that if you cannot do, we'll do it first. So the one very big example is their seats. The car seats is actually done by Tesla themselves because they learned from their Model S years, their early years, that no car seat manufacturer will provide that kind of volumes for them.
I see.
So then they say, hey, you don't want to give us, we do. So we do it. Then it's really engineers go and source the leather, try to fix it, and make even a better car seat now.
Yeah.
So that's the vertical integration that they're not afraid to do.
Because I remember there was a show, Sandy Munro,
Yeah.
car reviewer. He complained to Elon straight in the face. He said, "Oh, your first Model 3, right? The car seats was just horrible." And they were willing to change in a short span of about 1 or 2 years.
Yes.
Straight away, they had a new car seat. He said, "Oh my God," he says, "this is the best car seats he's ever sat on."
yeah.
And many cars, he's reviewed many cars.
Yes.
Actually.
And Sandy Munro was also like amazed by the first time that he tore down. He had an early Model 3.
Correct.
And then he said, like just one more year after that, the Model 3 is like inside is a lot of difference.
Correct.
One part can have 33 changes, and there's no car manufacturer in the world that's going to do the change during the production.
Yeah, it's,
At that speed.
yeah, it's insane.
That also probably explains why they need to keep raising capital, right? Because
yeah.
all of this means that means one lab is one very fun lab essentially.
Yeah.
These giga factories, right?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of giga brain people coming in to just try something out. Failure probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
But that's why they need the capital.
Yes.
And that's why it probably makes sense for investors to give them capital,
Yes.
right?
At the early days, it's true, but now they have capital. So I don't think there'll be capital raisers in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are very self-sufficient already. If
Okay.
you're looking at the way that they can, because their operating efficiency is actually top notch.
Okay.
Their margins, they are looking at industry leading margins.
Okay.
So for the operating margin, right, like even Deutsche Bank came out with a note last week
Okay.
that they are looking at the near term, mid-term, they will go at 20%
Okay.
and above.
Okay.
So that is already industry leading.
Okay.
And then net margins will be like on the mid-teens.
Okay.
And
But
even
it's
that's
very good for
good. Net margin, very good
yeah.
for automotive.
So we sound like we were just putting Tesla on the pedestal and nothing can go wrong. What do you think are the biggest risks for Tesla? Where do you, from your expertise in the automotive industry and as an investor, what do you think can go wrong, possibly go wrong?
I think if I'm really, really honest, to be frank, the Chinese competition is quite real.
Okay.
The Chinese competition is quite real.
Okay.
If the Chinese can capitalize on their resources, especially their natural resources,
Okay.
in terms of the battery,
Okay.
it could affect Tesla very badly, because Tesla is also dependent a lot on the natural resources like the lithium, the nickel, manganese, and all those for the batteries.
Okay.
So I think that's the only big risk I see. Like
see.
more realistic risk. If you're talking about
okay.
if you're talking about like quality, or if you are talking about like range or technology, I think Tesla has a very wide lead.
I see. In terms of cost, do you remember roughly how much does the battery make up? Because I have some number, but I may be wrong.
Yeah. So the industry is currently about $110 to $113 per kilowatt hour.
Per kilowatt hour.
So an average a mid-size car will be like 50 kilowatt hours. So that will be like $5,000 plus for the battery pack. There's a pack level. That means already the big part now.
Okay.
The cell will be of course cheaper a bit.
Okay.
But the pack level is like about that range. Industry is paying that.
Okay.
There are research that's saying that Tesla is actually already in the below 100
Okay.
on the pack level.
Okay.
And Tesla has a plan that they released in the battery day that they will try to go down up to $50 to I think $55, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, half.
Yeah, in the kilowatt hour. They have a plan already. They have shown
Okay.
a plan.
Okay.
So so that will really bring down prices.
Yeah, because if you're looking at a Model 3 in the US, it's about what, 33,000, 34,000?
no, the cheapest I think now is like, after so many price raises, I think it's 41.
Okay, 41. And the battery right now, you were saying is about $6,000 US, right? For that range.
Yeah, for that range, yes.
I'm trying to just get a ballpark figure. So at a
7,000 already. 6,000. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say 5,000. So 40,000 is 1/8 of the price. Then I'm just trying to understand the cost for an EV car. So battery, 1/8. The other stuff, which is the LiDARs, the ADAS, and all that kind of thing,
I think,
20%?
from my experience, the cost for a radar is about 60 euros, because when I was in Continental, we have that.
Okay.
About 60 euros on the part.
On the supplier
On
side.
the supplier side, yeah, we sell to them.
I see.
So about 60.
Okay.
And cameras will be slightly more expensive depending on the quality lah.
Okay.
So I would say also around, maybe a bit slightly cheaper actually. Cameras are a bit slightly cheaper because there are less computation,
I see.
less moving parts. So
I see.
I think, let's say on average, a car would be about 8, at least must have 8 cameras currently. 8 cameras, so maybe like $400, $400.
Okay.
And then you have the parking sensors, all that. Those are very commodity really. So that maybe like another $50, $100.
Okay. So
I think the
ballpark-
main thing is the the entertainment and the control. lah.
okay.
That's actually more expensive. That's
Wow.
more expensive.
Oh, okay.
The control systems, yeah.
So those big screens, Tesla was the first to introduce those
Yes.
huge.
That is actually, I think, takes up more. I think that takes up at least, including the computers and everything. I
Yeah.
think that takes. I might be wrong. I'm not really.
This is all
well versed.
ballpark,
just
anyway.
ballpark. I
Yeah.
would say at least $1,000 lah.
I see.
At
I
least
see.
if with the current advancement, like Mercedes, I would say at least 2,000 Mercedes stuff. Yeah.
Because I don't remember Tesla's numbers for COGS. I don't know whether they break it down until that much.
They
you
don't
have-
break it down under that much.
Yeah.
They just the cost of goods sale is only, but they can get on the automotive margins. They got about on the top line being about 30+%
Gross margins.
gross margins. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there one car that is not Tesla right now that you think is close? What do you think is the closest brand right now?
Yeah.
Um,
Rimac.
let's say my second choice lah. Let's say
Yeah.
for more realistic. Not Rimac. Rimac is another level, like the Bugatti level. But let's say a realistic choice, I would say. See, it's very hard to look. I think Neo Chinese company.
The Neo,
Neo,
the NIO, the
Yeah,
Neo,
NIO,
right?
yeah.
Okay. More for practical reasons.
More practical practical, reliable, and then at least that they have a clear vision that they want to put all their effort into EVs.
I see. What other interesting stocks do you have in your portfolio that you're looking at right now? Actually,
Maybe it's not in your portfolio. So
yeah, maybe
it's
but
like-
you're
even
on
not,
your
yeah.
KIV, yeah.
I have so what I have now mainly is tech. So Microsoft and Apple is also the other big chunk.
Okay.
I'm actually looking at more on the payments technology.
Okay.
So like now like crypto, like
Square.
Yes, like Square, all those things. But I'm not
Stripe.
looking at Square. I actually have Shift 4.
Oh, Shift4.
I
Yeah.
actually have that. The guy
yeah.
who went to the space
Yeah.
with the SpaceX. I'm actually looking at that. What I think that is special with them is that they provide the whole integration.
Yeah.
So they have the loyalty aspect, they have the payment aspect, they have the technology aspect. So I think instead of just like a pure payment processor, they're actually providing like top to bottom,
Vertical integration.
vertical of converting paying customers or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I'm looking at.
This is the guy, Gerald Isaacman.
Isaacman, yeah.
He sponsored the whole what's the name?
Inspiration 4.
Inspiration 4 trip to the it flew higher than the International Space Station. And the reason I got very interested also, but I haven't studied the finance because this guy can actually fly in a Gulfstream 550. So this guy, kind of, and then he made his money from Shift.
From the payment, yeah.
Yeah, from the payment. Yeah.
So why is it that specifically?
Then he just
that-
mentioned the integration
So-
of payment.
What is how do you say is the progress, or is it's already in progress that people are already using it and things like that?
They are still in the growth phase, very early growth. What I see is that the way that he acquires customers is that he provides the company provides like a very comprehensive solution. So you take up the pain points of looking for a payment processor that can take all kinds of payments. They take away the pain of the point of sale. They take away the pain of inventory. And then he also provide like analytics on your sales, on your inventory.
I see.
And then the payment charges is very competitive
I see.
as opposed to like Square or PayPal or others. So and it has a lot of flexibility. So I can see that it's on the software side is strong. I mean, how he can change with the times, how this company is like changing with the times.
Yeah. Have you done comparison that company to probably guys like Stripe and everything? I know Stripe is not publicly listed.
Yeah.
But have you done that comparison or?
No, not actually.
I see.
Not actually.
Okay.
I've actually done comparison with Shopify.
Okay.
So Shopify was also previously on my radar,
Okay.
but I did not invest because I think that their model is very easily copied
I see.
because they are more or less, if I'm wrong, I don't know, but
Yeah.
at that time I was looking at they are just providing a platform for people to sell their own stuff
I see.
at the easier way, of course, with their own branding. But
Okay.
I think that can be done in a lot of very easily
replicated lah.
replicated lah.
Okay.
Right,
Great.
right.
Great. Probably I want to start moving into your phase as an investor. Now, you were very qualitative, very big picture trends and understanding this, right? And maybe did you evolve when you started to understand financial statements and everything? And how has that, if there's a skill or certain skills or certain checklists that help you improve, what would that be actually?
So that is what brought me to the SIB.
I see.
So during the MCO, I was looking at, because I already have my US portfolio.
Okay.
Then during the MCO, my wife has a very small portfolio in the Bursa.
Okay.
So she was asking me what can I do, or what Malaysian companies can be invested lah,
Yeah.
to find out. So I was just looking quite aimlessly, trying to find what are the trends or what can Malaysian companies do. And I found that it's very hard to find the information readily available.
I see.
So it's very it's not so big picture like what the US has, and a lot are not consumer facing. So then I thought, okay, if it's not consumer facing, I really need to understand the management. I really need to understand the financials.
Yes.
So I went to a lot of like YouTubes and look at what is available online.
Yeah.
So I chanced upon you guys because Ziet came
Ziet,
on
yes,
your
yes,
podcast very early.
Yeah.
So actually, how I got to know Zed is that in the Layak forum, I actually have a thread about Tesla.
I see.
I started that about 2019, and I wrote my thesis. I wrote, like just discussing and trolling some people.
Okay.
And then and then a lot of them were saying that you Tesla will not be 20x
Yeah,
at 2019. No one is good. It's not going to be 1 trillion. Are you crazy? But everything is written on the internet, so you won't. It's proof. It's evidence.
Who has the last laugh now, right?
Yeah. So from there, then Ziet connected to me, and then when he went on the podcast, I also listened to you guys, and I thought, very interesting because you are in Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I want to learn. Then I also chanced upon your SIB.
Okay.
And at that time, what triggered me to pay for your course is that you say that you have a checklist
Yes.
of what to look for. So I thought, why not, right? So I went through your course. Then I used that as a rough guide to go through the thought process. And then, of course, you also have some like quick dives on different companies in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And I think that's very resourceful because I don't have exposure on the business side of things. So I'm only like very consumer oriented. So what you bring towards the like power generation companies, all those things like Yanhe, all those back behind the scenes we don't know.
Yeah.
But from your side, then I get the like ideas.
Yeah.
Then only I follow your checklist and see if it's worthwhile to invest. And then I do the research, and then I just like cross check myself, and then just ask my wife, hey, you think this is okay? She said, okay. I
It's
invest
interesting
for her.
your wife is also invested because most of the time it's
She's not
either-
active.
She's not active lah. But at least she still take a little bit of interest to invest lah.
Yes, because my father-in-law was a stock investor.
Ah.
So he sometimes
Inherited the
not inherited. I mean, he sometimes like tell my wife, hey, you got some money, buy this. Then my wife just okay. She doesn't have much of an idea on like evaluation.
I see.
So she has like a small portfolio not much
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Then she told me MCO nothing to do, and we have a bit of money put aside. Let's invest
I see.
Because but what she knows is that if there's a crisis, you should invest. That's what she knows.
Wow, that's good.
That's why in the COVID time, when the COVID March 2020, right? She thought that since our business cannot run, why don't we look into some things to invest?
I see.
Then she said, okay, you do it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, man.
Crisis invest,
The wife telling you.
crisis
From her
time
father
invest. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like specifically about SIB, right? Like when you look through the content, were there things that maybe you discovered that you didn't think of it before? But that's what we always try to find, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like we try to create something where people never thought about it before, and we just want basically verification, right? Whether that's true, because some people say no, everything I know.
We want to be a Tesla. The feedback mechanism
yeah.
has to be
We want a
agile.
Agile. What I like was the methodologically way,
The flow.
the flow. Yeah, you start from you break it down also to qualitative and quantitative. Because some people will say that, hey, just look at financials. Or some people just say, hey, no need lah, you just look at the qualitative. But both have its users.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because you have both like a guideline, so I can actually know that, okay, I can break down my qualitative part into like you say the management, the mode, the addressable market, and everything. Because before that, I don't have like a structure. I'm just saying, hey, they are selling fast food every day, like McDonald's, right? Okay, they are growing. Okay, I buy. But I didn't think of like how big can they address, how big can they go?
Correct.
Right? How much can they capture? And what's the worth of that capturing? All those things. Then that's what helped me to like at least structure a bit, have it in a writing, so at least I can refer back and see, hey, I think I was wrong. Then I can do my decisions that way.
Okay. And I still owe him one episode which I never gotten, which is the rights issue and all that.
Yeah.
It's just been so.
It's very complicated.
Yes,
very complicated. Malaysian capital.
And even last night
actions.
at about 1 something, one of our followers actually texted me asking about, because Yinsen is just going to issue bonus,
one-to-one bonus,
bonus and warrants, which is actually in a way is a rights. In a way is a rights. So they were confused because it's like the message they got from Yinsen's management is like, I thought you were not going to raise capital, but they just won a FPSO project. So I think you're right in saying, even for me, it was confusing, Kevin, to understand all this. And I guess when documentation from these companies are being dished out, right, they don't explain it in a very layman terms. They give you a stack of documentation, how to calculate, right? You look at the formula, if you're not math inclined.
I think the problem in Malaysian companies is that they do what's legally required.
Yes.
That's why in the Discord, I just put a part of the Insen, the statement. They say that they did this because they wanted to have more participation of the investors in terms of share count while maintaining the equity percentage.
Yeah. So what does it mean to the
I
layman?
mean, it doesn't make sense also. You have more share count, but your equity percentage is the same. It's still the same.
Yes.
More pieces of the cake, but still put together, still one cake. So it doesn't make sense. I mean, what makes me really frustrated about the Malaysian market is that they have so many of these kind of corporate actions.
Yes.
It's like, does it really bring value?
Correct.
If they say that they need to raise capital, why don't they just do a simple like capital raise instead of like rights issues and they call it bonus, but it's just a split.
Yeah.
I mean, make it a split lah.
Yeah.
Why must it say all this like bonus? Like, is it psychology? Is it like saying, in the Asian way, say, hey, you got bonus, you get more, right? But it's actually the same.
Yeah, I don't know whether you watched one of the new episodes I added in, right? Bonus today. Oh, it's supposed to be in that episode, sorry. In the past, bonus issue, you have to capitalize your equity. The new ruling does not need to capitalize equity. Meaning, you don't actually need to take out share equity and capitalize it. So what, in simple terms, bonus and share split, no difference now. Last time there used to be a difference because share split is just you don't capitalize equity. Now,
it's purely documentation.
It's purely documentation already.
Is it 2 plus 2 or 3 plus 1? That's essentially the question. But at the end of the day, the results is still the same.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear some of your feedback, and we're always very interested for those listening who are our clients or want to be potential clients, right? That is I think something we appreciate. We want to bring some of that Tesla culture in, right?
But it's definitely, I mean, I'm not being paid by you guys, but it's definitely value for money.
Okay.
It's definitely value for money. If you are talking on the landscape of those sort of gurus and investors, it's definitely value for money.
Which is only means with time to raise our prices. Right?
Yes.
Like Model 3 already raised prices, right?
Keep adjusting.
Keep
adjusting.
And I think, do you enjoy the community you're in SIA?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons is also because of the community. Because when I started investing, it was very lonely.
Yes.
So you don't get any like feedback on your ideas.
Yeah.
So like now, I mean, I contribute by my research, like in Tesla
Yes.
or in other
Yeah.
batteries, right?
Yeah.
And then I get from others like crypto.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot of crypto insights, right? Then I learn from there.
Wait till lunch. Someone's going to shield you crypto
Yeah.
after this.
I mean, thanks to your research, actually, that's why we decided to add Tesla into the FIRL
Exactly.
portfolio.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's doing well.
Yeah, even though the software companies have been plunging, right? in
Yeah.
the
Yeah, but
US.
if you look long term year to date, it's still up 20%.
Correct.
It's already good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
A lot of people is afraid now, like, hey, this week down, Elon Musk selling, right?
Yeah.
But you just zoom out year to date, right? It's already 20%. What are you asking for? 20,
Actually,
27%.
if you're a real value investor and you understand the sum of parts of Tesla and the culture, right, you should be happy every time the price goes down. Actually,
Exactly.
yeah, it's
Most
opportunity for you to collect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also buying a bit whenever it goes down to low, like there's a drop or whatever.
Yeah. Actually,
Whatever I can.
You make me very tempted to add Tesla into my US. I haven't. By the way, sad story. I read Elon Musk's book way back when he first came out,
Yeah.
and I said this guy is insane. You know, it's a whole new level. Most engineers are technically very sound, but
Yes.
they are not commercially sound.
Yes.
This guy is all in one.
Yes.
You
He's
know?
all in one. He has a physics background.
Yeah.
And he also learns business. He also has a business degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
this is the best in business. That's the best. If you're an engineer, if you are a technology company, that's the best of both worlds.
yeah,
100%.
You can never find people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not in 100 years.
yeah. The struggle would be key man risk. I don't know with
Yeah.
the culture within Tesla. Is it enough that touch wood if Elon Musk goes away, will it be strong enough in your opinion?
In my opinion, it is
Okay.
because it's already ingrained in the culture. As you can see, even in China, the culture is there.
I see.
So China has started to be more. Tesla China is more public in showing what kind of innovation they are doing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just released a marketing video.
Okay.
Usually Tesla doesn't do much marketing,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in
yeah,
China,
yeah.
because they know in China when you want to recruit people, you need to show the strength, right, in the company. They don't want to be too secretive. So they actually showed it out. I mean, and it's quite autonomous in a way that China is managing themselves. So I believe that the key man risk is going lesser by the day.
I see.
I mean, if you're talking about like 2 or 3 years back, I would say it's still very important.
Okay.
Key man risk, but if now, if you are thinking about like 10 years in the future, right, I think now or next year or something like it will be quite a very good time to start to think of investing in Tesla, because the key man risk, I think, and also I'm talking, I just now I said about the Chinese competitors,
Yes.
especially the battery part, not the product side, but the battery part. If they can solve that, then I think the risks are very, very low that Tesla will be worth less than it is now today.
Great. Any further
Oh,
questions?
No, man. What to have for lunch, right?
Actually, I want to go on, but obviously, more during lunch later about
Confirm.
crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, where if you want someone to find you, where can they find you?
Yeah, publicly, you can go on Twitter.
Okay.
So I share on Twitter, I do a bit of sarcastic commentary
Okay.
on
I
general
just followed
goings
your
on.
Twitter thread. Yeah.
General goings on.
Yeah.
And I also retweet or put forward news about Tesla, about the EVs, and I'm trying to push Elon to bring Tesla to Malaysia as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I am not successful with that yet.
We have only less than 10 Teslas in Malaysia.
I think
something like
probably
It will
20.
grow. It will grow soon now.
Yeah.
It will grow next year and the following years.
You look at his profile photo, man.
Dude,
There you wouldn't recognize him
Yeah.
today.
That was very young.
Yeah.
And so my Twitter will be Kelvin KELVIN LYM.
LYM. Yes. Yeah. We'll put it in a link. Anywhere else? LinkedIn or Facebook?
LinkedIn also, you can follow me. You can find me. My LinkedIn profile is a very funny. I'm not very serious at that because I'm not actively
Looking for a job,
looking
right?
for a job already. But
Yeah.
you can see entrepreneur, investor, and former mechanical simulations engineer. Once advised Elon Musk on a 22 billion corporate action.
Okay.
Because he did the poll, remember?
Yeah.
He wants to sell his
These shares.
Yeah. So yeah, I consider myself once advisor.
That's a good meme, right?
Okay, man, guys, look, we're all gonna buy Tesla after this, right? Obviously. So, okay, not financial advice,
Yeah.
guys, but look, if you are looking to invest in Tesla and or already a Tesla investor, I'm very sure that this podcast has helped you a lot. And of course, if you like this sort of content, this sort of podcast, just share it with your friends, right? Save a life. Someone who doesn't buy a whole Tesla, right? Just send it to them, Just kidding.
Thank you so much.
Kelvin.
Thank you to you guys as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you guys and to share what I have learned from investing.
Yeah.
And also hopefully that if Elon Musk sees this podcast, he will bring Tesla to Malaysia.
Oh man, if Elon Musk watches this
They
podcast,
send it in 3 hours. They're coming.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, follow us on our other channels, our other YouTube channels, Instagram, Telegram, whatnot. And see you in the next one.